In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to stylize your blog posts and your pages, such as adding things like bold text, italics, paragraphs, indenting, links, and more. It's actually very simple to do with WordPress. It's just like editing a Microsoft Word document and making it look nice. On the web, you can have the advantage also of adding links, images, and some other things. WordPress makes this extremely easy for you. When you go to your Posts menu here, and you want to add a new blog post or edit perhaps a page or some other piece of text on your site, you can actually go right to this editor window and you'll see a whole bunch of different options. One of which is the kitchen sink, and this is this button right here. A lot of people miss this button when they first get into WordPress because when you first see WordPress and you see the window to edit a new post or add a new post, it just shows this top line here. So what we're going to do is show you not only how to use some of the features on this top line here, but also the kitchen sink, which gives you a lot more options, as you can see. So let's start from the beginning. Very simple here. If you want to bold some text, highlight the text. This B button will just bold it, and the text is bold, and it will show up bold on the website. Next one over, italic. This will italicize the text. Now, you can undo these very easily. All you have to do, there's two ways to do this, is re-highlight them. And you'll notice that the B for bold tab is depressed here, so you can just press it again and it will no longer be bold. Another way to do it is by actually removing the style, and there's a little eraser tool down here, and that will remove the formatting of any piece of text that you've edited in such a way, such as bold, italic, or colored. So let's remove the text, or let's remove the bold text here, and you can do that, and it works just as well as just repressing and unpressing this. Another feature we can do here is the strike through. This will actually show the text on the page, so it's not actually going to delete it or remove it, it's just going to show it as having a line through it if you want to, for example, have some text that just has a strike through element to it. The next thing I'm going to show you is making a list. So let's have some desserts here. You see cookies, cake, ice cream, and broccoli. Let's turn this into a list with bullets. So we can press this button right here, and that will turn your list of items, and obviously it can be any items, it doesn't just have to be desserts, and put some list bullets next to each of these items. This can be undone again. To redo it, same thing, just press and unpress the button like you normally would. You can also have a numbered list, and this is basically what they call an ordered list, so it will always automatically update your list items 1, 2, 3, 4 and count them off. So either of these is a good option. The next thing over is called a block quote, and what that will do is indent all of your items. Now, a list is not a very good thing to do here for a block quote. Normally what you would do is if you have a quote, for example, someone maybe made a testimonial on your site and you want to indent it and highlight it, you'll want to highlight like a chunk of text, and it's going to actually indent your text. And this is actually what it looks like. I'm previewing it on our live site, and what it looks like, this is the style that has the block quote on our company site. So this might be different on your website, and it could be different on any website depending on how it was styled and created. So you might have a little quotes here, but what that does is just highlights a block of text to stand out and have the quotes. So let's undo that. The next thing over, these are your paragraph tools. So if we want to highlight the text and move it to the right, this is the align right button. This is the align center button, and it'll center your text, and this is align left. That's pretty straightforward. Next, let's make a link. Let's say that we want to make the word desserts link to google.com, for example. We would go to insert edit link, this button right here, and you can type in the URL right here, and it will say google.com, and we've already highlighted the text desserts, so that's what's going to link to google.com. So we can click add link here, and it's as simple as that. Google.com has now been linked to through the word desserts. Now we can highlight that again, and the next button over will unlink it, so that just removes the link. Now another thing you could do with linking is really nice is to highlight it. Let's say you want to link to another page on your site. Click the link. Down here there'll be a little blurb that says or link to existing content. If you click this, these are different pages on our site, and if we want to link the word desserts to terms of service page, just highlight that, click it, it'll automatically update the URL by default, which will link to the terms of service page in this case. Click add link, and it will be linked. That's a very useful shortcut for those of you who are trying to link to other pages on your site. So we'll unlink that for now. Now the next items, we could ignore the languages and all of this stuff for now, as you may not need to actually make use of that. It's something we can come back to later. This button is interesting. It actually allows you to edit in full screen mode, so if you feel like you don't have enough room in the editor, you can click that and there's a lot more room to work with and it's a little bit cleaner. And you can just click to exit it at any time. This is the kitchen sink that I was talking about at the beginning of the tutorial. You click this and it removes that second line here. It just gives you a little bit more room to work with. So for now we're going to show the kitchen sink and move on. This is the drop-down menu for the paragraph tag. Now here you can change the size of different fonts and make different headings. So if you want to have, let's say, this text at the top be like your main heading, you can click heading 1. And what happened is actually it highlighted all the text because all of the text was together in the same block. So we can actually remove heading 1 and just make this a paragraph again. What it's going to do is change anything into different text sizes and headings that you highlight. So you can make subheadings and larger headings, paragraphs, and there's a fairly long list of 6 different heading sizes that you can use. So that's a nice, easy tool you can use to change the size of different fonts. The next tag is actually a pretty simple one, just underline the text. I actually don't recommend overusing this because the default setting to link to different sites and different pages on the web is to underline them. So if you're going to use this, you may confuse your visitors and they may think that something is a link when in fact it's just underline. So to give text emphasis, I actually like to use the bold style instead of the underline style. So that's actually an important one. The next one is actually a lot of fun. This is going to allow you to color your text. Now at first when you click this you may see, you know, a list of colors, a certain number of items long. It's not, for example, a lot of colors, but the best part is you can add a huge color wheel here and have basically the text be any range of colors that you would like. You might start here and turn your text green. If you don't want that particular green, it's better generally to go to the palette and then you have a lot more options. So here's an orange. It's just basically, it's endless what you can do in terms of text colors. I wouldn't recommend getting too creative. I mean, most visitors to your site aren't going to like you if you change all your text to a bright piercing yellow and they can't see your pages. So it's important to stay within some basic web principles and make things readable and legible. I mean, that's the most important thing you can do, is the content is everything on your site. Finally, we've discussed the remove formatting tool, which will remove any formatting you add. So if I make this green and I think, that's too bright, I can't see it, we'll just go here and remove it. So that's kind of a nice little add-on. And the final thing I'm going to discuss is actually the special character, the custom character button. If you've ever seen some of those funny texts with ends with accents or other such interesting text characters that are not standard, there's an enormous list of them here that you can add. Like you can add a copyright tag, lots of special characters. So if we want to say add a copyright tag, it's all going to be under here under the special characters menu. So basically that's the gist of the WordPress editing capabilities, and we'll go into more detail some of these in a later tutorial.